Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I just got chill bumps. Okay, first of all, let's just get cut to it. Ready? I found out how to do, how to do a StreamYard. So, if anybody wants me to do one, I can. But I'm not right now. I'm driving. But, okay, let's just go through the numbers. December to now, we still have 2 boys missing out of Cal City. Still missing. We jumped from Cal City to Las Vegas. Amari story doesn't do the math for nobody. They find him deceased, the hands of the creepy bastard that's in jail. Then that creepy bastard, as of yesterday or this morning, pleads not guilty. Didn't he confess? I'm pretty sure he confessed. So I don't think that's going to fly right. Then the grand jury came back with indictments. You're going down, buddy. What are they doing? Are they getting ready for the fair? When's the fair open? July? Guess they're getting ready for the fair. Whatever. I think where I'm going. Alright, we'll go this way. And then we have from Amari to Texas. That story isn't jiving right. That story is a mess. People are druggies and whacks and whatnot. That story doesn't add up. And then we get a new one, not new to us, not new to them, but we have a missing kid that's been missing since April that winds up being, some people, if you choose drugs over taking care of or being responsible for, maybe you should just stay doing drugs and hand this kid off to somebody that might give a shit about it. The homeless would probably give more care and love to a child. Shut up, Nancy. I'm not listening to you right now. But she went off earlier today, too. So we have a kid in Dallas. Now we have a kid in Houston. Found in a duffel bag in a closet. To a lady that had no business being in his business. Then we have a dad that pressed charges to the crazy bitch that ended up at this hotel with his son, found in a duffel bag. What in the damn skippy ass hell is wrong with me? I went on a rant last night. I'm going to go on a rant again today. If you don't want to take care of somebody else's problems, do not date them. Like, clearly you need an application to date that says, for me, I have friends that have littles. I don't want to be responsible for their littles. I don't. Like the guy, like their kids. But dude, they're ever gonna live with me? No. My kids are grown. I have emptiness. Where am I going? Emptiness syndrome. I need to go up higher. Fucking Kelly. I need to figure your... Oh, I know where I'm going. I don't really need to figure my shit out. I just need to pay attention. I won't date a person, a male, with little kids. Not that I don't trust me or them or whatever, but as Laura, Dr. Laura, I listened to her, you shouldn't date anybody when you have little kids and think that they are going to be a fit-in mom, a fit-in dad, in their already jacked up life because you had a baby, didn't get married, got a divorce, have the kid. Now you're like, oh, but I need to have some sex. And you choose wait, fucking what? Alrighty then. You should never, you shouldn't be able to date until your kid is 18. Period. You flabbered into this life of you are a single mom or dad. You have to deal with the AKA drama of the other person in your life. And you have to deal with it until they're 18. And then as soon as they're 18, you either wash your hands of them or say to your child, growing up is hard, but to the best interest of my being, I have raised you to be a good female or male under the circumstances. I'm sorry your mom and we didn't work out, but I haven't dated anybody. I haven't seen anybody because I didn't want to bring our trash and chaos into that person's life. They're not warranted. It's just not warranted. Why these people think all these cases, Orrin Orson's still missing, Amari Nicholson ends up missing and dead by the hands of somebody else that claimed that he's like a son to me, but you killed him, and the mom has to be naked, like she has to do her deeds, okay? Then you have this going, you have the same kind of deed going on in Dallas. Like, don't you guys need to listen to Dr. Laura. Dr. Laura does not play like this. Like, just like, if you have a kid, you're married, and you don't want to dump your kid off at daycare, you should quit your job, become a full-time live-in mom, and whoever's running the show, husband that you love dearly, loves you, blah, 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 that your kid doesn't get raised by strangers. So somebody loses their job, or you get an in-home job, or whatever your case may be. But all these people have the same rooted, gutted story. They all have to chase something else. They made a kid with somebody else. They met this other person, and the other person that they meet isn't the killer of their hands of someone else. You left 2 kids in Dallas in the hands of somebody else that was not stable, not well off financially, whatever, and it's like a boarding house for craziness. I don't understand. And then you have this case now in Houston that the girlfriend, possibly, evidence yet still pending out, DA, all of the things, they're going to transport her ass back into Harrison County and say, we're going to nail you for murder, bitch. But we're not going to tell you that yet, because the son, the bio daddy, he's still chirping. He was involved with a domestic violence case, which this bitch that ends up with his son in a duffel bag in a hotel room in another county. What the fuck? Why is it, and I don't care how you spin it, and you guys can disagree to agree or put thumbs up or whatever y'all want to do. Why is sex and a relationship more important than what the fuck is going on up here? We have cops standing on the sidewalk. We have a car in the middle of the road. We have 4 cars in the middle of the road. We have a bunch of people standing there. Let's see what's happening. I got a light. I get to look at the light. What the hell happened? We got cops on the corner, cops on the street, cops on the street, cops on the street. Get out of the way. Y'all know that the road's fucked up, right? Oh, we have cops at the bus stop. Cops at the bus stop. Cops crossing the street. We got cars over there. We got cars over here. Seriously? We got a tow truck. Parking enforcement. Traffic people. The hell? I was on a rant, and now I have to wait because I have to see what this is all about. Irvine PD doing its damnedest. Oh, we have a little kid. I don't know what happened. Let's see what happened up here. Cars blocking the street. Cops still on the street. Is she gonna bone out? Boop, see ya. What? I bet you this was a U-turn crash. What's the bet? Somebody made a U-turn and somebody hit him. I'm guessing that's my thought process here. Dun 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 dun. Green light me. Green light me now. Oh, it's Asians. Does that say much? Anything? Anyone? See what happened. I don't see any glass. Let's see what happened Oh, yeah, that's clearly a U-turn hit. Door bashed in, mirror. Yeah, wonderful. All right, so sex is more important in all of these cases, all of them, than protecting your blood child. And I'm going to say it again. Even the people of Cal City, the mom and dad went to a sex shop. So sex is more important than keeping your children safe. I personally didn't date when I was single with children. My kids forced me out of the house, but I didn't bring randomness home. They're like, Mom, we promise, this is pager days, okay? We barely had a cell phone at the time. They're like, Mom, you need to get out of this house. Why? Because if I leave the driveway, drive down the street, y'all are going to call me and say, so-and-so has this, he won't give it back. I'm not refereeing anymore. Sex is obviously more important. A relationship with somebody else that you may or may not know for a minute or a second. I dated this guy, literally, I called him Minute Mike. Anything less than 6 months is considered a minute in a relationship. He got possessive, he got controlling, he got like borderline abusive, and I wasn't playing. I was single. There was a single reason why I was single, because I don't play with people that abuse people verbally or aggressively. And I boned out. I'm like, I have to deal with this at home. My kids were still young. They were 18 and 16, but my 16-year-old was notorious for being just a bully. And my son was the wuss and wanted to pick on her. So she was an easy pick. But I opted out of that relationship. I'm like, peace out. And all of my friends knew Minute Mike. They're like, Minute Mike? How's Minute Mike? I don't know. When I say I'm out, I'm out. And I'm going to be completely honest. The sex sucked. The relationship was fine. He tried to pamper. He tried to call me all the cutesy names. He tried to do all of the things until the switch turned and he turned in possessive, controlling, and a mess. He wasn't playing. So I said, toodles. Why sex is important while you have a minor child, little tiny child, shouldn't even be a question. There are things for that can fix you and them. But don't live with them. Don't bring your kid over to their house and make fake house and then bone out and do whatever you're going to do, drugs, whatever, and think your kid's okay. It's not. You brought this child into this relationship. You are responsible for its breathing, clothing, feeding, sheltered life. I don't get why this is a big deal. It's a big deal to me because we are losing kids under the age of 6 because somebody needs to go get laid, or somebody needs to go be in a relationship, or somebody needs to care for my kid, or somebody needs to just be the bigger, better person. Instead, it turns into a bitter, better mess like death. And until somebody can get a handle on it, I don't know, maybe we need to bring back the chastity belt, because apparently that worked then. Jesus. I don't know, my aunt was right a long time ago, and my uncle. Don't get married until you're 30. Don't have kids until you know what's up. Don't bring in somebody that's not worthy and willing to be a part of this kid's life on your watch all the time. Even if you are a step parent, you are still the one person that they call mom or dad, not somebody else calling you. Like, my stepmom was never called mom. She was always called by her first name, Belinda. Never was it, you better call her mom, like my dad wanted me to, because she wasn't my mom. And as a right of a child, no child should be forced to call anybody else whatever they else are, besides, I'm dating Cindy, I'm dating Greg, I'm dating, Tabitha, whatever. Your kid was brought into it. But why is it important not to do that? Because there's a habit forming. Everybody's dying at the hands of somebody that you clearly thought something was just perfect about them. They're perfect for us. They're a perfect fit. Well, not necessarily. Because something is not right when these kids are just dropping over and over and over and over and over. And then you have all these people on YouTube getting into their skin dirty. Like, we don't, like, truly, honestly, this girl deserves what she gets. This way. I think I'm on the line. Looks like I'm on the line. Shut up, I'm already here, stupid GPS lady. But why is it a big goddamn deal? Is sex that, well, is that worthy of a death? Like, you... I think you guys need to tell your children, your young adult children that have had children out of wedlock, another relationship, not to date. You have a bigger responsibility in life right now. The child that you are fighting for custody over, sharing custody, 50-50, I don't even know, 10-40, I don't even know, every other weekend. That is your main focus. Don't go chasing vagina and dick. It ain't healthy. It obviously is a thing to leave your kid with somebody else that you're in a relationship with, and your kids are dying.
This is in the Mountain Creek neighborhood in Dallas. Police say that child died in a violent manner, was killed with an edged weapon. The case is being treated as a murder investigation.
And then, you know, it's a big case when the FBI gets brought in. Take a listen to our Cut 7. This is Malini Beside WFAA.
Dallas police and the FBI arrested 18-year-old Darren Brown on kidnapping and theft charges. Longtime neighbors tell us they would see Brown walking in the neighborhood.
All the things. It's just all the things. See, Nancy's on it. They're dying in the hands of whatever relationship you're in. How well do you know? And all of you look like you can't test clean to save yourself from getting in trouble. Like,
Had an ankle monitoring bracelet on for a prior charge.
Straight out to Mark Class, founder Class Kids Foundation.
somebody needs to chase down this man because he'll talk.
Okay, Mark, what about the fact that after he takes cash, the video catches him coming back to get the other twin?
And they catch him coming back at 7 o'clock, Nancy, which is after Cash had been brutally murdered. So obviously bloodlust was on this individual's mind, and fortunately something distracted him and sent him.
We already heard all this. You guys have dissected all this. But it's always better to hear it from the sourcey people, the ones that have accreditation.
Reminds me of the other final videos of little children being led to their death. Carly Brusha in Florida, Amber Harris in Omaha, Sharice Periwinkle, a case that you and I have certainly both worked on. And
it just behooves me that a relationship is more important than your children. And it's sad. It's sickening sad. Because, you know, tomorrow there's going to be a new one. And there's going to be some rendition of this, me talking about, it's not a husband-wife at this point. Foster family, foster parents, relationship in Las Vegas, multiple relationships. One actually seated the girl that had Amari. He wasn't on the birth certificate, but another guy filled in the day of the birth, and then that guy went away, and then this guy shows up, and now he's killed her kid. is he jealous of the 2 relationships prior? I don't know. But you guys, anybody, whoever's listening or wants to listen, maybe you should check yourself in to what is important in your life. The kid that you made a baby with from 3 relationships ago, the person that thought drinking and having weed and doing all of the things for child endangerment circumstances that got them put into foster care, that led them to this house, that brought this out because they all called 911. Then you have the Dallas case with Nancy Dick Ray's talking about, that a kid just gets taken out of a house but doesn't know anybody, but she doesn't know either because she's too whatever the hell's going on in her life circle. Those aren't her kids. It don't matter. But it was a relationship that brought him there. It was a relationship that brought him there. That guy walked on, boop, toodles. And she got saddled with these kids, and, you know, she's not going to go on with her life because her life says, I could go this way. And these people in this house can take care of this dysfunction because I don't want to be, I can pretend, but I'm not going to pretend.
Maury says his mother dated Cash's father until...
And listen to Robbie Owens, CBS 11, for the Perps mom.
I spoke with that suspect's mother this afternoon, and she insists that her son is being set up. What do you believe happened?
I think that 4-year-old boy was killed at 3 people's home, and I believe someone had transportation, like a car truck, and transported his body to the body site.
How do you know this family? Where the little boy had been staying?
My kids only
Knows older ones. I don't know the 2 4-year-olds.
With him since he was
Where do they get these people? Do they fall out of 3rd grade? She can't do it. You know why she can't do it? Because where do they get these people? Education. Stay in school. Don't spread your legs. Don't bring your penis out of your pants. Stay in school.
I don't know that you have better evidence as a prosecutor than that video. I love when the defendant says, "Prove it." Okay, I will.
You know, this
I'm with her.
alleged
Prove it.
Darren Brown comes back at daybreak for Cash Gurn's twin brother, just 2 hours after he had taken.
So he's taken a shower, changed his clothes, and come back. Perfect.
Him.
Did he have a sandwich?
Spooked. He either heard something or saw something that made him flee, leaving behind the little twin brother. Mark Class, when we try to make sense of it,
We get dizzy.
it's applying logic to an illogical situation. Final thought to you, Mark.
Well, there is no
Final
logic to
thought,
something
Laura.
like this.
Dr.
Sometimes
Laura's coming
something
on.
that kills
2 minutes.
whatever internal reason exists, but the reality is
Just
that
be careful.
this case is in the lesson of
Focus.
is that you need to secure
You go without, raise your kids, get them to 18, and then you could do whatever you goddamn want to, because what happens at 18 is no longer it's still your responsibility because you gave birth to them. You still have loins to them. They're still your blood. You still don't want them to be stupid and drive drunk or do anything stupid, or yet make a kid and not be responsible for it, but just give it around. Just like spread it around the world. I'm going to have a 5-year-old and I'm just going to hand it over to Sally Jesse over there, and I'm going to give it to John Paul over that way, and we're just going to like make nice with everybody, and then your kid ends up dead.
A 6-minute roundup of the day's top crime and justice headlines every
Oh,
weekday
no.
at 1 p.m. and 9 p.m.
Because I'm
Eastern.
losing my mind.
John Lemley inviting you to join me for the Crime Online News Update, a daily feature of crime stories with Nancy Grace on Sirius XM Triumph Channel 111. You prepare for whatever may come your way.
Everybody that has a child, you don't need to be in a relationship. And that person that you're in a relationship isn't responsible for your kid. You are. So, in a sense, the courts can come back and say, you were the guardian of this child at whatever court thing that granted you custody. So your custody is this child. And your child has been harmed by somebody else. So why can't they charge any of these misfits for that? That's what I would like to know. Like, maybe I need to email Miss Grace and say, if you are a responsible adult and you've had custody issues and they granted you full custody, and then comes along that your relationship, that you're not married, you live together, you leave the relationship, but you leave your kid behind to the relationship that's not responsible for your kid, you should still be responsible for their health and being. Did they change the law? Pretty sure that, like if your kid goes out and wrecks your car, you're responsible for the fixing of the other car and their property, because you're responsible because your kid's on your insurance. Same thing within death. If your kid ends up dead in the hands of somebody else that you are the sole guardian of, then you should be trumped into court to say, how did you get your kid into this predicament in the first place? Well, we were dating, and yeah. What the fuck? I don't know. Everybody likes everybody's enjoyment. Some people don't. Some people do. Enjoyment of sex is a thing, but if it's at the hands of something that can be harmful to your child, then they deserve to be in foster or adopt-a-care. Like, wash your hands of your children. Don't kill them. They're happening. It's happening way too often to settle. Losing a kid in Houston, Texas, found in a hotel room of what the girlfriend, where's that? What the fuck over? Did she just get mad and just beat the... We'll find out. We'll find it. We'll find out what happened. It's disgusting that the world rather have sex than be adult responsible for their own offspring. These are not pets. These are humans. These are humans that you created with an infatuation love night, and you didn't do or haven't done the right thing yet, because you're losing control of what is important in your life. And that's stupid sad and stupid scary, and makes me sick and nauseated and dizzy listening to all of these things. But that's my thing for the day. It's 11 o'clock on a Wednesday. Who's next now? What Popeye imagination is going to come over my phone later and say, guess what? There was a dad this past week that took his kids on a camping trip. That was another thing. There's a kid in Vegas that was found on a trail. They sketched him out and did all the things. They posted a thing. Somebody swore up and down it was their son. Nope, it wasn't. And the dad went camping and they couldn't find him. Came back into cell service. His phone had like 97 messages on it. They're looking for you. They think you killed your kids. Da 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 da. His kids were fine camping with him in another state. And they swore up and down that this one kid was one of them kids. And both of those kids are fine. And he wants an apology. I would want one too. Because he's not doing the wrong thing. He's doing the right thing for all the right reasons. And these people are instantly to blame somebody else. Sad-ish to be sad. Truly, truly sad that the hands of somebody that you clearly don't know is taking care of the person that you wound with somebody else. Sad. Bye.